Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cryptonews Weekly Roundup. Your hosts here, Matt Zahab and Rachel Wolfson. And folks, we are back. We are back. We are back. We are so back. Well, maybe not. But Rachel and I have been begging and praying to the good Lord for some green on the board. And we finally have some green. We absolutely love to see it. Rachel, how good is it to be back? And how nice is it to finally see some green on the board?
Very nice. It's great to be back, Matt. Really excited to talk about the news of the week with you. So let's get into it.
Let's jump right into it. Price action, like we said, some green across the board. It's always nice going on CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko and seeing a bunch of green, and that's what we have this week. Bitcoin is up just under 5% on the week to 84.7K per Bitcoin. ETH is up 5%, just under 2K to 1.975K per coin. XRP is up 6.5 ticks to 244 per coin. Everything is green. Biggest gainer of the week was Binance, up 7.28% to 623 per BNB. And guys, while that was positive, we did have a bit of negative news last week as crypto ETPs, also known as ETFs, recorded a $1.7 billion sell-off.
Yeah, let's get into it, Matt. So cryptocurrency exchange traded products, also known as ETPs or ETFs, saw outflows totaling $1.7 billion last week as global investors continued pulling capital amid broader market declines. This is all according to a March 17th CoinShares report. Investors retreat as crypto ETPs face market pressure amid declining trends, while early technical cues and rising institutional moves hint at a possible shift in investor sentiment.
Yeah, and moving forward on that, the longest outflow streak since the Bitcoin ETFs went live, losing $6.4 billion over the last 5 weeks. This marks a historic outflow, like I said, of $6.4 billion, which is realistically because of Trump's tariffs and the overall market sentiment. No one knows what's going on, and the big CFOs and financial institutions in the world cannot forecast because they do not know the rules of engagement. Speaking of crazy news, the big whale on Hyperliquid was back at it this week, and a potential $368 million Bitcoin short raised tons of red flags. Is a crash incoming, or was this just the whale up at it again, trying to make some cake?
Yeah, Matt, so let's talk about it. A whale has placed a $368 million short position on Bitcoin with 40 times leverage, betting on a price drop ahead of the FOMC meeting on March 19th. The short was opened at $84,043. And if BTC surpasses $85,592, the position will be liquidated, triggering significant losses. While the trader is currently up $2 million in unrealized profit, they've already spent $200,000 in funding fees. Yikes, that's a lot.
Crazy stuff. Ripple. Time for some Ripple news. Ripple CEO said the SEC finally dropped the case against the firm. This has been going on for quite some time. Huge news for the space. The price of Ripple jumped more than 10% on Wednesday, yesterday as we are recording on Thursday, after Ripple Chief Executive Officer Brad Garlinghouse said the Securities and Exchange Commission, also known as the SEC, will withdraw its appeal of the previous ruling. In October, the SEC appealed a court decision that Ripple sales of XRP cryptocurrency over exchanges didn't have to comply with investor protection laws. Again, huge news and great for the Ripple community. Moving forward, Coinbase making some moves, becoming Ethereum's largest node operator with a crazily large 11% stake.
Yeah, so let's talk about it. Always love to have some good news with Coinbase in it. So basically, crypto exchange Coinbase is the largest node operator on the Ethereum network, controlling 11.42% of the total staked Ether, according to the company's latest performance report. Coinbase said it had 3.84 million Ether, worth about $6.8 billion, staked to its validators. The exchange said that as of March 3rd, it has 11.42% of the total staked ETH. That's really interesting. Love to see it. And yeah, good news for Coinbase.
Good for Coinbase. That is a slight bit alarming, Rachel, as again, ETH wants to be decentralized, and that is a little centralized in nature, owning that much of the float. But
this is true, Matt.
Yes,
this is true.
But c'est la vie. Time to talk about Solana, my favorite coin of the big five. Of course, after Bitcoin, nothing beats Bitcoin, but after Bitcoin, I do love Solana. And for the first time in a while, all of crypto Twitter and all of crypto X, all of the crypto community united over something that happened earlier this week. Solana's CEO, Anatoly Yakovenko finally responded to their crazy ad, which was launched titled America is Back, Time to Accelerate. This advertisement garnered intense criticism for the community. It was absolutely wild, and he expressed huge regret over the ad, admitting that it was mean and bad and targeted marginalized groups. He said, and I quote, "The ad was bad and it's still gnawing at my soul. I'm ashamed. I downplayed it instead of just calling it what it is, mean and punching down on a marginalized group." Folks, Rachel and I are not going to explain what it is, but it was beyond cringeworthy. It was absolutely wild, especially coming from a crypto company. Go check it out. I think it still might be on Solana's page. I think they put it back up, but that was pretty wild to see. And the whole crypto community as a whole said this was bonkers. What the hell was going on? So that was at least a little cool to see. Some more big news in the Solana ecosystem. Volatility shares to launch the first Solana ETFs in the US of A.
Yeah, so this is really great news, Matt. So Volatility Shares LLC is preparing to introduce the first ever futures-based Solana ETF in the US, with the launch scheduled for Thursday, according to a Bloomberg report. Thursday is today. This will go live tomorrow. The Florida-based firm will roll out two ETFs, the Volatility Shares Solana ETF, also known as SOLS, and the Volatility Shares 2x Solana ETF, which is known as SOLT, S-O-L-T. SOLS will track Solana futures and other standard exposure to the cryptocurrency, while SOLT will provide leverage exposure, aiming to double both potential gains and losses. This is really interesting. Can't wait to see how this is going to play out.
100%. More Solana news in the crypto world this week. Justin Sun back at it again with a cheeky little tweet saying, "We are coming to Solana. Are you ready?" He said that TRX will be integrating with the Solana blockchain, but didn't really provide any further details or a timeline. No one is completely sure how this will work. However, it is likely to involve bridging between Tron and Solana, while also holding Tron-based TRX in custody as a backing for Solana-based TRX tokens. The Tron's blockchain's biggest sort of use case right now, besides meme coins and Tron-specific utility, is that they have the cheapest stablecoin on the market. Tether USDT on the Tron network is still the cheapest, and you can literally send it for fractions of a cent. So if we can have some of that goodness on the Solana blockchain, that would be incredible. A little bit of unfortunate news, Rachel, and we won't be ending with this, but Crypto.com, who's usually pretty good, is in deep shit. Tons of controversy after minting 5 billion tokens, sparking insolvency fears among their community.
Yeah, this is crazy, Matt. And obviously it's not good news, but basically Crypto.com is facing backlash over $5 billion in CRO minting, fueling insolvency fears, as you mentioned. So basically Crypto.com is facing fresh scrutiny from the crypto community following its controversial vote to mint 70 billion CRO tokens worth about $5 billion. However, on March 2nd, 2025, the exchange put forth a proposal to reintroduce the 70 billion CRO supply, sparking widespread backlash. Although the proposal was put to a vote, the exchange's significant control over voting power ensured its passage, despite most independent validators rejecting it. After the proposal's passing, CRO's value plunged 5.2%, reaching 77 cents.
Crazy, crazy stuff. And to finish off the week, folks, with some positive news, Kraken is moving forward to capture and acquire futures trading giant NinjaTrader with a $1.5 billion acquisition. Kraken is set to finalize the $1.5 billion deal to acquire US-based retail futures trading platform NinjaTrader, a move expected to expand the exchange's reach beyond traditional digital assets. The Wall Street Journal, shout out to them, reported this yesterday, and this would be the biggest deal in the history of crypto. Absolutely wild. Shout out to Kraken. This would be a huge way to onboard a bunch of retail as well. Folks, that wraps up this week. We prayed for some green last week. We finally got it. Let's hope the bear market is coming to a conclusion and we get more green on the board. As always, we love doing this with you guys and gals. And if you enjoyed this one, and we really hope you did, please do subscribe, hammer that like button. And as always, we will see you on the next one. Rachel, always a pleasure. Listeners, always a pleasure. Enjoy the weekend, guys. Enjoy the week, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you, Matt. Thanks, everyone. Bye.